identify yourself.
With a bomb.
I mean,
Literally.
Helps me get my groove on.
Listen up, ladies and gentlemen.
This is Boom Radio.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. And my name is Ola Dolupo. You know, the one and only. It's me, right here at the bar. Thanks.
Welcome. Good afternoon. Good
What
morning.
is hilarious?
Good evening. My name is Tokunbo Ojekunle. A happy Eid-El-Fitr.
It's not Eid-El-Fitr yet.
It's okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, I missed it, right?
At least not according to you. Okay, there are people in Sokoto that
Because some
already Eid-El-Fitr.
moon has been sighted. I hope it,
moon has already. Some people have already sighted
okay.
moon.
Not eclipse
True,
moon,
true.
but the real moon.
You do too much. That's how they
the real
see.
moon.
They will from Sokoto. They will come out. Okay, I'm not there. Oh,
Good
I'm not
afternoon.
there.
Welcome. Let's be happy. Come on, let's be happy. Let's be happy.
I won't be there.
All
When
right.
they come and look for you. You go have me.
No, you know everything I do is in care of Sola Rogers.
I said, yeah, I care of him.
Yeah, well, you know, when people grow older, they always need a shoulder to lean on and someone to chaperone.
Somebody sent me to you. You keep forgetting there are so many old people out there.
When I
You
grow,
hit old people.
when I grow
Do I
older,
represent them?
I don't eat old people.
Oh,
You're
okay.
the one. You're not old people. You're a person, not people. And you
I'm
know,
representing them.
when I grow older too, of course, I would want to have a Sola Rogers in my corner. Amen to that. So
yeah, that's
yes.
the idea.
So whatever is said or done, you know, yes, I'm taking care of him, like he said. I'm his daddy now.
you don't
so
have a choice. You
I'm
don't
his daddy now. So
you don't have a choice.
It's okay. It's okay. You know, like my friend would say when we were in uni, I like to feed the poor.
Oh,
So me, I like to help.
by the way,
I like to help the needy.
Thanks for the
I like to help the needy.
Thanks for the what?
I like to help the needy.
bowl of rice.
Me?
Sorry.
It's not me. Oh.
Okay, it's fine.
I don't like to take I don't like to collect things or something I don't use.
Okay.
So,
Whose idea?
all right, it's the Boomba on your Boom Radio, and Dolupo has already let you know what's going on. And we're just going to dive right into it. Tokunbo, of course, you know, we have to accommodate his...
Handle with care.
Yeah.
This way up.
Very fragile, very, very fragile. Content is fragile,
That is fragile.
you know. So,
Okay.
Anyway,
another thing that's really fragile right now is the emotional state of some of my friends who thought that fasting had ended yesterday. But sadly, they have to continue today.
a serious
It's a very serious
emotional
matter.
damage.
Very, very serious matter.
matter.
Why
You
did
know?
they? How did they lose the count?
They didn't lose count.
They didn't
Okay,
lose count. They
okay.
didn't lose count.
The beauty of the month of Ramadan, that it is subject to nature itself. The calendar is based on the appearance of the moon before and after. That's how you know an entire month has gone by,
So true.
and the month would not end without the sighting of the moon.
Mm.
It's that simple. There's no complication around it.
So
no
you don't see the
ambiguity.
moon, you are not going nowhere.
Yeah, so
It
so
continues,
clear.
yeah.
It's so well structured that, you know, I respect, you know, Muslims for it, because it's worked generation after generation, decade after decade, and century after century. Even the breaking of the fast and the starting of the fast itself is also subject to the elements. You get your sahur before sunup. You must have taken your sahur before sunup, and iftar is sundown. You get, and in Nigeria we're lucky. Sunup and sundown is so structured whenever the month of Ramadan is here. In other parts of the world, sundown in some instances is 9 p.m.
Yeah,
Ten-
it
and they
will
cannot-
last,
and
it
they
will
can't
last
break their fast.
15, 17 hours in 24
and they
hours.
cannot break their
They
fast.
can't break it. Unfortunately, some people also have very late nights and also very early mornings.
Yeah, so that's
Which
the
makes it worse.
That's the beauty of it.
So you break your fast really late and you still have to wake up really early.
Really
again.
early.
Exactly. So it makes sense though. But anyway, so they thought that fasting had ended yesterday. But starting from Saudi Arabia to the Sultan of Sokoto, who is the official, would I say official, a ceremonial head of Muslims in Nigeria, had announced that there was no sighting of the moon, which meant that fasting continued
Right.
today. However, there was already announcement of public holidays for Tuesday and Wednesday, and
By
which,
the federal government.
yeah, by the federal government, which I honestly felt was very hasty.
Oh. Really?
Yes, because I think it was announced over the weekend already.
Anticipating.
Yes.
I
But
think anticipating.
you
the
do not hold
usual
the
rancor.
elements. You do not hold
Confusion,
the
rather.
moon. Do you understand? Like, you can't completely say. I personally felt that it was a little too early, and they goofed. Now, they now had. There was now an announcement yesterday that instead of Tuesday and Wednesday, there will now be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday as public holidays.
Public holidays. Okay, but more than ever, I think also the lessons of the Ramadan should stay with us. That the fasting ends.
Doesn't mean
we should go back to old ways.
But wait, before we sound so nice and all that, I'm angry.
Precious, yeah, okay.
Why I said so is because, first things first, like I said, I felt that the Ministry of Interior goofed.
There's a feeling. Right?
Yes, I think that they could still have announced that public holiday on Monday. Nobody was going to stop. Everybody was still going to, as much as you kind of, even like Christmas and New Year, Easter is even far.
Which are
Easter,
programmed.
you already knew when Easter was going to end. It was 40 days, yeah? Even though we knew, everybody knows. And you know that there's always Good Friday and Easter Monday as public holidays. Everybody is still always waiting for the official announcement of these things, yeah? So, even if it was not until Monday evening, people would have still waited. I felt that it was too hasty. That was what caused a bit of this confusion. If they had waited a little bit, they would have realized that, okay, there was still fasting that was going to happen on Tuesday. That's number one. Number two, now that it had now been announced, are we saying that there is now 3 out of 5 working days doing absolutely nothing, literally shutting down the large chunk of the economy? I think that is ridiculous.
It looks it sounds it, but right now, that's got to be. They can't go back on that.
They could have still announced that public holidays is now Wednesday and Thursday, or stuck to the Tuesday and Wednesday anyway.
A lot more confusion. There's already scored. The confusion is also already scored.
Like I said, they could still have just stuck with Tuesday and Wednesday, and after the celebration on Wednesday, everybody goes back to work on Thursday. I personally feel that it is ridiculous. Well, let's call it spade a spade. By the time you go to work on Monday, you don't go to work Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, especially if you are not an essential worker, because like us now, we don't have a choice. We're at work anyway. It's not like there's a conversation around whether you're going to be at work or not.
The medicals also have to go to work.
Do you understand? Security people and all that. Those ones do not have there's no conversation around theirs. But take, for example, I personally feel that people like that work in the bank, they should be essential workers. Newsflash, banks are not going to work for 3 straight days.
Yes.
That's a huge part of our economy that should not be shut down for that long. Keep in mind, okay, so they'll get to work on Friday, then there's no work again Saturday and Sunday again. So in a space of 7 days, 5 days you're off work. So how much banking activities happen? It's supposed to happen in 2 days out of 7 days.
I want to weigh in and disagree with you slightly on the timing of the decision by the Ministry of the Interior, as led by Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo. I believe that the timing was the right time for them to have done it. They did it at the weekend, which had given people about 48 hours to plan. If you had held on until Monday evening, people will not be able to plan. People will not be able to set things in motion, and it will affect them, especially with the fact that a lot of us like to travel whenever these religious events are happening. People will have to touch base with their families, and people will even use those opportunities, to relax or rest, and unwind. But the main focus should be on the celebrants and their need to pray and celebrate and all of that. So I think the timing was okay, but nobody, of course, factored in the elements that at some point in time there will be a decision to say, oh, the moon has not been sighted, that the clouds are covering it and everything. In fact, before they announced it, the Southern had put out the normal information, and it was early. I think it was on Friday. That look, it's time for people to start, and they give them a number to call and all of that. Technology makes it easier now, which means that you could actually sight the moon in Lagos and send the message, to the appropriate authorities that look, we've sighted the moon, and there's a system for corroborating the sighting of the moon and everything. I think it was just some kind of force majeure that nature really just played the fast one and said, you know what, this is what's going to happen. That's why I disagree with the timing that you disagree with. I disagree with you disagreeing with the timing.
Okay, so it's Chad. Okay, you're still talking.
Also wonder why, banking facilities or banking services are not considered essential services.
Yeah.
And again, not to rain on anybody's parade, we need to rejig a lot of things. For instance, they can actually offer skeletal services. Another aspect of the economy that's going to be shut down is in oil and gas. If you have noticed, if you drive around Lagos, and I think it's happening in Abuja too, there's some kind of fuel scarcity. And it's usually because during those festive periods, they don't carry as much, produce.
Everybody wants to go and
they don't carry as much as they should. So there's pressure on the little that has been supplied. And we've not pulled out of that, and we're shutting down for another 3 days. Do you know what that means? Is that the scarcity that would usually abate after 4 or 5 days.
The Easter, what's it called? Now plunge into another one again.
It's going to, be aggravated. That's my fear. I'm looking at the issue with banking. I'm looking at it. So we should be able to work out a system that keeps our economy going and keeps things going. For instance, incentivize it for people who are willing to offer their services in that period.
Or maybe let's look at the amount of public holidays we have as a whole.
What we've been talking about these holidays, really.
I think that there's so much. For example.
Go check the holidays list. The holidays list is extremely long.
Take, for example, even government officials, government services. There are a lot of government services that, take, for example, now. You have an expired driver's license. And you genuinely didn't realize until maybe yesterday. Now, nothing is going to be done. You either can't drive around.
You shouldn't.
Or
once it expires.
Because nobody's going to tell you that it's public holiday. That's why you can't renew it.
No, nobody tells you.
Do you understand? They won't tell you that. But they also do not tell you that their offices are not open at those times.
Okay.
I feel that there, even as much as we look at a lot of private sector government. There are a lot of government
what about the
issues.
Courts? What about the courts?
The courts.
And the decisions they have taken.
Yeah, I think that
over
courts
time.
is
The
going
holidays
to make.
affect-
Yeah,
holidays
the courts
affect
is going to make a lot
reasons
of
in the
people.
court.
What's it called? Stay back in jail more than they should because courts will not work on public holidays. E.g., Bobrisky.
Oh, wicked you!
I'm just saying, but we could also say that it is human rights. Because you gave him a particular date. It's not his fault that it falls on a public holiday. Why are courts not opening on holidays?
But traditionally, they don't open on holidays.
That's-
So I think our
that's the thing,
our fight now should be
is
for us to
traditionally-
try and respect the fact that public holidays are public holidays, but essentials should work.
Yeah, so what are definition of essentials? That's why I say if we're not careful, if we go by a lot of things, we'll realize that virtually every part of the country is essential. Every part of it. So maybe it's high time we either reduce these public holidays or find something to do to it. Because honestly, anybody, especially government workers, going to work on Friday, if you want to get anything done, just forget about this week.
All right, okay, but I'm just going to digress again and disagree with them saying that we have too many holidays. You want to keep person. There is one holiday that has not been added to this list of holidays. Nigeria is said to be a secular state, which on paper means that we're not supposed to pander or bend towards any religion. However, the bulk of our holidays are religious holidays.
Yeah.
You know, I think Christians have like 4 days in a year, and Muslims have about 4 days too, officially. You know, when they have, I think 5, because we take 2 days for Ramadan, that's Eid-El-Fitr, then Eid-El-Kabir, also another 2 days.
Yeah, another 2 days.
Usually, I think there's Maulud Nabi, but I don't know.
That one, I'm not sure.
If they still declare.
No, I
holidays
think
or
most
not.
of the time it's just a few states that declare those ones.
The holidays. Then for Christians, they have the 2 days in Easter and 1 day for
Christmas.
because Boxing Day is a general holiday, but it's usually
yeah.
tied to Christmas.
Then there's New Year, which
You know,
is supposed to
which is also
be a general holiday.
So what I'm going towards is that the non-Christians and non-Muslims amongst us who are not atheists are usually referred to in Yoruba language as Isheshe or Nisheshe. These are people who are traditional worshippers who also should have a right of celebrating their own day, Nigeria. And I know that a lot of people will push back and say whatever, but the truth is, if the constitution says that we are a secular state, these guys also deserve whatever the Christians and Muslims are getting. I know that some southwest states last year designated a day or two in the month of August, and I think it should be national.
It should.
My opinion, really.
In the spirit of fairness, because that's what I feel too. The spirit of fairness.
I think it would be easier if they all come together or came together.
Yeah.
To make a formal request.
Request for those things. Yes,
Yes.
I agree with you.
So I'm sorry.
Anyway,
this is not to take anything away from our brothers who are celebrating the holy month of Ramadan at the moment. It's just issues and matters arising because I don't want it to be misconstrued that we're trying to rain on your parade. That's not what we're doing.
talking about the Ramadan and sighting of the moon. Maka did not sight the moon. Follow me very well.
No, we're listening.
Sultan did not sight the moon yesterday. And, you know, the people that normally sight the moon all across the country did not sight the moon. But a specific Sokoto-based cleric, Sheikh Musa Lukwa, has decided that he has seen his own moon and he has observed his own Eid prayer today.
He alone, definitely not.
And with his mosque members.
Again, it boils down to everybody coming to do things in unison. Yes, these are things that we could be. But you see, when it comes to religion, again, we said it earlier, it will flow forward, backward, right.
But he said that he saw the moon of Shawwal in neighboring Niger Republic. So, he said, and I quote, "There are reports of sighting of the new crescent in many places, including here in Nigeria. But the one that we're sure of is that of Niger Republic," he declared. "We have a verified video clip of the Council of Ulama authenticating the report, after which the country declared Tuesday as Salah Day."
Which country?
Niger
Niger.
Republic.
Okay, I wanted
So
to be
it
clear.
is now binding on us to observe Eid on Tuesday because that is the teachings of the Holy Prophet. If we can accept that of Saudi Arabia, why can't we agree with that of Niger Republic, which is nearer to us? I'm not saying all Nigerian Muslims must observe Eid prayer on Tuesday, but we have no moral justification not to observe our prayer on Tuesday because the new moon has been cited by new members. I remember there is no fasting on Salah Day. It is prohibited.
Okay. Religion. If we're going to go,
That's
if
deep.
we're going to go with
Rather deep.
with
I'm
science,
sure it's not eclipse that they saw.
if we're going to go with
Dolupo.
whatever this person saw,
I'm just sad.
if we're going to go with whatever this person saw, we need to ask. So, are they also saying that they saw it in Niger? Is Niger Republic, have they declared, today as Eid-El-Fitr? I don't think so. So you cited something in Niger, but the people of Niger also used your citing, or the people that told you, I get it, but this is where I always say to people that we bring in our own things into religion, our own interpretations, our own feelings, and everything.
It's man.
But even nobody saw the moon yesterday. So which moon did they see? Was it a reflection of the
Well,
moon?
he said they saw it.
You
So
I don't know.
he said it was
Okay, let me
sighted.
say what if daddy just tired of fasting and you know what? I'm not doing this again. I'm tired.
No,
I will
that won't happen.
Why not?
I doubt it.
What do you mean?
No, if he does, he didn't express it like that.
He
So
did,
don't-
but
do
he
not
might
let us-
just be tired
don't
of fasting.
Let's throw that out.
Oh, he might just be
Like
tired of
no,
fasting.
no, he possibly, but let it be.
How
till-
come he's the only one that saw the moon? Moon is
It's
in
a
the
big
sky.
question
Oh.
we
Wait,
can't get an answer
moon
to,
is in the
Dolupo.
sky.
Look.
See, even without being a Muslim, you will see the moon, won't you?
Well,
I'm just saying.
if he's well sighted, he said they sighted it in Niger, and Niger is not far from where he is. So, as far as it's concerned,
That's why I say
they
that.
have seen it.
Are you sure that it's not eclipse that he saw?
But I've always wondered. I think honestly, there's no hard and fast truth to these things. There are leadership in each of the religions, right? There's and the leadership from way back to when I knew what was all about Fitri and all. There's a central command, so to speak.
Exactly, but the central command said that there's no
to
moon.
Speak. I
But
think they should look into this man's.
But apparently, they say that according to reports, said this is not the first time he seems to be defying and doing things as he likes.
I tried not to use the word defy, so it's been used now.
So is his own thing.
Okay, so it's.
Seems like it's his own thing. Anyway, so shout out to you people in Sokoto that saw the moon that people in Kano and people in Oyo State did not see. Anyway, wait. If I may ask, is the Sultan not in Sokoto? How come the Sultan in the same Sokoto did not see the moon? I'm just like, it honestly just popped up in my head right now. Like, Sultan should be in Sokoto now. Or he's in Sokoto.
That was what I've been telling you since.
So the Sultan did not see the moon
That's
in
what.
the same
Oh,
Sokoto.
now we were discussing this,
Okay.
and I kept on saying Sokoto, the same Sokoto.
It just clicked. I'm telling you.
anyhow.
It literally just clicked.
Anyhow, religion. and,
Well, we'll see where all this drama is going to. But let's come to a little bit of gist from President Tinubu's stable as he has now approved the establishment of the National Health Fellows Program. So now, for people that do not understand what it is, there's some people that are trained and they're supposed to be monitoring the primary health care centers in every local government in the country. Basically, that's what it is. Because I and why I think I agree with this is that maybe if they do their job properly, is that I think that a lot of times the issues that we have is monitoring. A lot of people just go to sleep and don't get anything done just because they know nobody's going to check what it is that they're doing. So if people are going to officially get checked, I think that it's a good thing if they do this properly, basically. Also, quickly, the federal government has launched a citizens app, and they're saying that this app is set to track ministers' performances and their deliverables and see how much of it that they've done and all that. However, I actually did check because I think it was inaugurated yesterday. I checked and I did not see it on my own app store.
I always have a problem with these things. I get it when there's a mass movement or mass traffic for technology. Remember when Obama did this Obamacare?
Mm-hmm.
The website kept on crashing at some point because there was a whole lot of people trying to get on it and all of that. But in this particular case, we've also seen times when federal government said they've done something. Like in the case of the police, they came up with an app that's supposed to be helpful, and our people went there to mess it up and all. This particular one, we can't even find it. This is not a good look on them. I always feel that don't be in a hurry to announce anything. If you announce it 1 week after, it won't make any difference to us.
We've said it here before, and we
know,
keep
so take
saying
your time, do the test.
We keep on saying it.
I before you put out an app, people are supposed to even test it.
The website is not even working.
That's it.
I'm literally
trying
out. It's not working.
So nice concept though that we're able to track progress in Nigeria, which is like knowing the KPIs now. Like okay, so these are the things that we're supposed to look at, and this person has not met the target, or this person has met the target.
The website finally
open.
It's only open.
So
the website, I can't find the app.
So they should
still.
just always take their time and do a test and everything. For instance, the increase in the price of band A electricity users. What's wrong with sensitizing people before taking that decision? You know what they said? That people will go and buy on the old price and everything. But at least they're not stealing anything.
Exactly.
But what you said,
And at that point,
was it official?
Oh yeah, there's feedback like that.
But
Yes.
at that point,
yes.
whatever it is you buy, we shall finish at the point.
And it's paid, it's not stolen. Do you understand?
It's paid, yes. It's not, yeah.
All the people that increased their items now because the dollar went up. The dollar has shared over 900 naira. Abi?
Yeah, about
Naira.
900 naira.
About
Those things
and
won't
nothing
come
has
down.
gone down by 1%.
They will not come down. As of yet, they will not come down. Hi.
And of course.
They will
So
not
these
come
are the
down.
real issues here. These are the real issues.
Any which way, we're moving on from that, and there's a lot of gist coming from the EFCC. First things first, the EFCC have confirmed recovery of 30 billion naira looted under the suspended Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. And they're saying that they're investigating about over 50 bank accounts.
Okay, so if you're just hearing this for the first time, it's possible. The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs was started, I believe, under President Muhammad Buhari, and the minister that functioned in that role until Buhari's government left has been under probe. Then President Tinubu came, and of course, the very popular Betta Edu, former women's leader of the APC, became the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. Then the matter of a project that they were supposed to go for, and a memo was leaked where she is said to have requested for funds for some humanitarian projects in, I think, 4 states across Nigeria. And that money should be paid into someone's individual account. By law, and by all the things that God, governors, it's wrong.
Very wrong. But individual accounts.
It is said that they are not saying that she stole money. However, a lot of Nigerians have already assumed that she stole money and she's guilty of stealing money, as against the person who they already know is already being probed for billions of naira, which is the immediate past minister. My thing here, what I'm trying to point out, is that everybody that understands how ministries work know that even till tomorrow, people's individual accounts are still being credited for projects that they are running for the government. You understand? We need to eliminate that system completely.
Yeah, it doesn't make it right. It's a ridiculous
We
thing.
need, yeah, I don't agree with it, but I'm saying that we should stop the hypocrisy. We should stop the scapegoatism. Always looking for a scapegoat while other people are doing it. There's a video now. You know, I'm digressing now. Are we done with Bobrisky's matter?
No, we're coming back.
We'll get back to
So
it.
I will leave it
Some
until
point,
then.
yeah.
Let's do.
You know,
let's
so we
fix this.
always do that scapegoatism, and you know, we pick out one person and everything. And I believe that everything we do should be across board, and it
Yeah.
should be without double standards. You know, someone like Tokunbo, you know, in his heydays, he was straight. You know,
Oh God, can
no
we move
double
on?
standards until a few minutes ago when Boomba wanted to start and he just dropped all these standards. And
I take objection.
please,
So
and
what?
Everything.
Okay, he allegedly.
Including the one you're talking about, the humanitarian things.
Okay, we're moving on.
Because you know why? No, Shola, you hit something which is important, and I always come back to this. Okay, what type of a being are we? My question is this: you're coming in as a minister, okay, and it's a given that you should know. You should know.
Yeah.
That things
You
should
should.
not be passed into private accounts. It's a look.
Yeah.
It is a given.
As much as we say
Come
that
on,
some
now.
of these things are,
Come on.
as much as we say that some of these things
I did
are,
not accuse him.
what's the norm
Yeah.
doesn't make it right.
It doesn't make
Take
it
for
right.
example, we're talking about this matter.
Yeah.
I didn't accuse him. Oh.
Off camera. What's the problem?
What is
Read the
it?
comment. I didn't accuse him.
Okay, read it now.
I didn't accuse him.
Oh, Eliashib Imagine said, "Why are you accusing my friend?"
I didn't
Okay.
accuse him.
You say no. Please talk to him.
I didn't accuse him.
Anyway,
But thank you very
we've
much,
not
man.
heard from you in
Thank
a
you.
while. We haven't heard from you in a while.
Thank you. No.
Anyway, so
you are
like
yeah.
like I was saying,
because it worries me.
yeah, because something
There's a template.
is something that happens doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
because
it's wrong.
the
If it's
sad
wrong,
part
it is wrong.
Because the sad part is that, like you said, you never know if you're the one that is going to be used as a scapegoat.
Oto.
So it's better you're not in that
Don't get caught at all.
Don't get
situation
caught. Don't get
at
caught.
all. That's number
Don't get
one.
caught.
Number two, there is a lot of conversation about how maybe this monies had anything to do with her, or maybe it was just people that were under her. But there's still an issue that I have. Even if she was not the one
She's not
that
culpable.
took this money. What makes her culpable is the fact that you are the minister in charge.
At the
And the
reporting-
buck-
The buck stops at your
Oto,
table.
Reporting officer.
Pastor Eliashib Imagine says, I'm still a boxer. Oh. So I did not. I was just.
You said box.
We were just. Yeah, I'm sure you know, sir.
No, he doesn't know. Explain yourself.
After the program. So, you know, so we're about solutions also. We're about solutions. Yes, and Pastor Imagine says, but seriously, it's government red tapeism that encourage political office. This is the bane.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So
bureaucracy.
what is the solution?
Yeah,
Do you
I think
understand?
that
This is the
it
bane.
needs to be the two things. Why I think that there are two ways to this thing is
Yeah.
that first things first. I think that if we make some things easier in some ways, some people might take liberty for license, and it will be easier for people to steal.
Stadium. Yeah, go ahead.
That, but also we are now in a system where things can be digitized. Everything should leave
So
a
solution.
print.
We should be about
So,
solutions.
Look for ways that it would be easier to reduce a lot of this bureaucracy, but still put checks and balances in place.
Yeah.
Because if we also look at it, if everybody is going on about government this, government that, we have, whether we like it or not, we have private companies that are big, that run cut across different countries. How do they make things work?
So for instance,
Okay, yes.
Tokunbo and Dolupo, we talk about conditional cash transfer to the unbanked and the poorest of the poor. And it is actually based on a register that was developed with the guidance of some foreign support from, I think it's the UN or UNESCO or something. Like, there is a register that has been expanded. Being unbanked does not stop those people from getting the new national ID card with the chip. Their BVN is enough for that.
Should be.
So whatever cash transfers now does not go through any minister, does not go through any project officer. It goes directly to the people that the monies are meant for. We're talking
carry
about
out the projects.
Palliatives and everything. No, some of the projects is about disbursing. No, the conditional cash transfer, for instance.
Go in, yes.
So that way you eliminate. But again, you must work with the private sector. Now, we have so many banks. I am glad that they have asked them to recapitalize. Banks, instead of downsizing, should be employing more people to go and bank the unbanked. We can't always sit down and say some people are unbanked.
Waiting for people.
In this day and age, they have this device that looks like a POS machine.
Yeah.
And with it, you can take pictures.
And it's like
accounts,
perfect.
Get their
It's a
biometrics.
way for banks to quickly get more customers.
Yeah,
and then you are sure that there's a certain amount of money that's
already
entering
coming
these people's
through.
bank accounts every month.
I was watching a snippet of the Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo. I saw a snippet of his interview on Arise TV, and he was talking about Ruben Abati asked him about the airport and the condition of the ACs always working and not working and everything. And apparently he says that it's red tapeism, just like Eliashib Emergence pastor said. That is red tapeism. What they come with is this: they have to repair AC every time it breaks down. And some of those ACs, the entire AC needs to be changed completely. But you see, some people would rather repair because it's a cash cow.
Yeah.
Allegedly. I've put allegedly. It's a cash cow. So they are constantly writing, we need to repair AC. If AC has broken down, as against changes. So he now said that he has approval now to change the entire ACs at the MM1. Do you understand? Now you can't come back and say you want to repair AC.
In 1 year, 2 years.
Do you understand?
Anyway, for
thing,
people that are living in Katsina State, sorry,
Yeah, please
you're
go ahead.
somewhere.
No.
Just wanted to put it out there. It's official. Friday is now. Oh my God. Friday is now also work-free day in Katsina State. So.
Yeah, so just like Eliashib Emergence said, just like what I was saying, he said, I heard that Keyamo is saying that he's using the private sector to carry out some of the projects.
And that's what to say that.
I know that's exactly
because
that way you rule out red tape completely. So he's talking about how the late Herbert Wigwe had come to him to say, look, can you concession the advert spaces in the Port Harcourt airport so that he can put his Wigwe University materials on it and all of that. He now said, he told him that, look, it's beyond that. You're talking only adverts. Why don't you have the experience of running your branches. You have the experience of making sure that every branch is top notch.
Yeah.
So why don't you take over running the lobby and all of this in this airport, and in exchange, instead of us paying you for that, you put your adverts where you want to. It's a win-win. Because he said at the end of the day, even if you take money for the adverts, it's usually diverted into people's pockets
Something
anyway.
else.
This is where Keyamo's words.
So there's no need for money
to exchange hands. So
but work still gets
we
done.
must look for a way to bring in the private sector, and that's why I'm suggesting that private banks, commercial banks, must get off their lazy attitude of saying some people are unbanked. I don't want to hear that unbanked. It's almost as if it's a statistics that we are proud of, that this number of Nigerians are unbanked. You should stop it.
No, you mentioned something that I think was also
Okay, so sorry for so Eliashib Emergence says EFCC should focus on government officials. How do you justify a level, I can't see, 10 officer owning 2 buildings in Lagos? That one.
No, look, we're back to I said something before. Nigeria is not the problem. The Nigerian people.
Oh yeah.
It's a people problem.
It's a people
It's
problem.
a people problem. Now, when you raise the issue I moved that point you raised into national grid that keeps coming down. And you remember again, I said this before, that the House members, almost Senate, asking that they were going to actually sit back and check and investigate why the national grid comes down all the time. Okay? Maybe red tapeism, people want to repair things back and forth.
Sabotage.
Sabotage could be there, allegedly. Okay?
Allegedly.
But the fact is, nothing is working.
Yeah, that's the bottom line.
We're running around in circles. Nothing is working. Now, I'm going back to Betty's case. And that tells me, look, do we have proper handovers? A minister leaving for another minister to come in to take over the same ministry. Do you have a handover book
So that if
or
stuff
report?
was not even done under you, you
Give
can
it-
say that I don't know about
Yeah,
this.
those things were being checked, and the person coming in will read through. And by the way, we had a problem here. This was how we solved it. We went to Wigwe, he talked about this and this, and we agreed to do the concessions, give it to him. He or she needs to know. So when you are coming in, it's about the people, it's about the people.
So
Our character.
documentation.
Be honest about what you did and that is that
Transparency.
that app must open to check our ministers.
Yeah.
To check our ministers.
Yeah, to be able to ask questions.
To ask
proper-
questions.
yeah,
Call
proper
people out.
questions.
Call people out.
You know, yesterday on Twitter, a colleague of mine, Toby Adepoju, tweeted that the local league, the Nigerian should be shut down for a period so that they can actually restructure, get some people out of. I know how he feels. This is someone that I know has invested a lot of his own funds and his time into covering the local league. And he said they should shut it down for a while. I know where he's coming from. And someone else said, no, that why can't we get... the guy was solution-minded. That why can't we get, the Dangotes and the Elumelus and Co's of this world
They've not
to
seen it
adopt...
as a viable business.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but let me just say this. To adopt a team and invest in it, and the league would have a standard. And Tony Elumelu jumped on that tweet. The original Tony Elumelu jumped in there and said, yes, that the Minister of Sports is talking to them about it already. Do you know what that means? Because what the guy was suggesting is that, imagine Geregu Energy belongs to Femi Otedola. If Geregu picks up one of these clubs in Lagos, and Aliko picks up Kano Pillars,
Yeah.
Elumelu picks up Delta.
Get it off the state government.
Do you know what it means? We now have a proper professional league because
you'll be run like a business.
So that's another thing. We're going back again to getting the private sector involved.
That's
Do you
solution.
get? And if a Tony Elumelu is tweeting that they're already looking at it, then there are brighter days ahead. So that's why I'm encouraging people. Look, elections are over. It's time for us to
Let's
move
look for
Nigeria
solutions.
forward. All hands
Exactly.
on deck. Imagine if we get the aviation industry right. Look at what has happened.
And it's panning right.
Look at what has happened.
It is
on the
panning
London,
right, I can
only on
tell
the
you.
London route alone.
Yeah.
Ethiopia Airlines have crashed their prices.
They have. They brought it
So,
down.
so if you don't mind the long laybys,
Yes.
you will spend less to go to London.
Way
and
less.
come back.
Way
Prices
less.
must clash.
Anyway,
So we need the private sector.
we definitely need the private sector. Now, the EFCC is set to arrest officials of hotels, schools, and other establishments that are still charging local customers in dollars.
They need to move fast on that. They need to move fast on it. Speaking about the
I
EFCC,
predicted that.
I know you.
Look,
Dolupo
okay.
reacted to it. Pastor Imam said that they should go after people, especially government workers, who have their own houses. On which salary did they use to buy?
It's
It's the same kind of system too.
Yeah.
They are charging people dollars for services rendered in the Naira economy. They should move against them and move fast.
I agree with you. Anyway, we're moving from that as the NLC, the Nigeria Labour Congress, have officially taken a stance at the Labour Party's National Working Committee. Remember that they had some form of election. I think it was about over a week ago. Now, the Nigeria Labour Congress has officially voided their national convention, and they've set up a transition committee.
I don't know whether to clap.
Before we
Or to
go
shout
into the Labour
Uhuru.
Party update,
Yeah.
Pastor Emergence has another comment that I think we should read.
Okay, so he says, I am very angry with Femi Otedala, for instance, the go-getter, if he takes over stationery stores, for instance, with our support.
International. You just imagine stationery stores.
Please send a phone
playing
I can
Champions
use
League.
so that I can get involved. Okay. At the moment,
This phone thing.
This is good.
From next
Look,
week, we're resolving this phone matter.
We're sorting it out. We're sorting
From
it
next
out.
week, we're resolving
okay,
it.
so
It's
something
I
that
have
we
an
can do
issue
for
with that. I think that it sounds a little bit like we're trying
To what?
to
It's stores we're talking about here, so
No, let her learn.
No, Tokunbo, let her tread carefully.
we're trying to
Unbiased.
what's the word now?
Tread carefully.
Force people some things down their throats. Some people have
Okay. Okay.
it's his money.
Oju
He
ino
can
mache.
decide not to. I'm not saying that he can't. I'm just saying
Are you
that.
his spokesman now? Do you even know if we're talking to him already?
Okay, happy talking.
Oh, yeah, move on.
Happy talking.
Up super.
Anyway, NLC Asha said that there's no Labour Party. What's it called? But I have a few questions though. Remember that there's still the conversation. There's still a court case that is supposed to be in the Supreme Court now between the Abure faction and the Apapa faction. Does this void that whole court case?
No, no decision can void a court case that's in Supreme
It's
Court.
not possible.
My take on this.
But what happens?
My take on this is that Labour Party is about to rob Nigerians of a viable opposition with the way they are going about things. Do you understand this? That everybody was talking about a third force. I think we were supposed to have had it with this. Now I see an implosion,
Oh yeah.
and I don't want it to happen like that. I'm being honestly.
I honestly kind of saw it coming.
We need a strong opposition that is not just PDP. Do you understand? Because anything can happen. If the people wake up tomorrow and really key into it, they will. But if the party implodes, what are they going to
What's
key
left?
into?
Shola, we do not learn
So,
in this country.
I agree.
This is not the first time that parties have gone awry of their principles and manifestos and disagreements within themselves. People have not learned how to manage each other.
So,
Intelligence, emotional problems.
I
they have
don't
them.
think that
And
is
you see-
emotional.
No.
I think
no,
that
even
it's
one-
a mixture of
hold
everything.
it. It's a mixture of everything, Dolupo. Leave that. I mentioned emotional. It's just one. Chichini matter. The major thing is people have refused to understand that the party is an expectedly opposition structured, okay, against the main party, okay, and which is not bad, okay, and they forget that within themselves, amongst themselves, they should stop opposing themselves. A house that is divided, that comes divided, falls Yakata. They
Okay,
have
so
not established
Eliashib
a
Imejo
relationship
says,
between themselves enough to hold a party together and say this is an opposition. They are not acting like opposition.
It says that,
They
sorry,
are not.
before we
Yeah,
go ahead,
yeah.
it
To
says
me.
I'm a stakeholder in the Labour Party imbroglio.
Yes.
Okay,
So the thing is that even if Julius Abure wants to perpetuate himself in power, he has to go about it the legal way. Did he cover all the bases when it came to organizing a convention? Did you carry everybody along? Did they start from the local I know that usually parties, before they go to convention, they usually start from the wards to the local government to the region to
Yes,
the
now.
state.
Okay.
Yes, now.
So
Did they do all of that?
all of that. I can I say something though? I think that one of the issues that is wrong with the Labour Party is that they are being hasty. What I mean by that is that whether we like it or not, Labour Party has been for a very long time. But the emergence or the addition of Peter Obi to
That was
the
the
party made it officially a national party.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
it did. But I don't think that they actually saw themselves getting to that point so quickly. And then introduction of funds, which I think is a very major issue in this matter. Introduction of a lot of funds, a lot of what's the word now? Yeah, I think I would take it. A lot of funds, a lot of popularity, and I think that's where the emotional intelligence comes in. A lot of people never really saw themselves like that, so it was more like, oh, we finally have this,
and they couldn't manage
and then
it.
they could not manage it.
Okay.
I think that they should have given them, even with Peter Obi, because the truth is that they garnered a lot more, or they did a lot more with Peter Obi in about 9 months than they've ever done before.
In their 20 years of existence.
In their over 20 years of existence. But they were not patient enough to get, because call it what it is. PDP is the oldest party. Even the APC that we talk about has gone through so much turmoil and so much. It started from
repositioning
AC
and
to ACN
everything,
to, do you
knocking
understand?
out.
Because it gets to even the PDP that we talk about, they too also have their
And
own
they're still
internal
there.
issues.
PDP, by the way,
But
is still having its own problem.
you know, when you get to a point where you
Edo
figure
State, for
out
example.
that this thing is not going anywhere. But the fact that I feel that a lot of times the major issue with Labour Party is the fact that so many people just feel that is their thing, because, and it's even NLC, because they are turned it into is our thing now, that is making,
which, by the way, is worrisome.
It's worrisome.
NLC, Congress.
But again.
Okay, so Eliashib Imeje says Abura is simply creating more problems, and then he goes on to say, I am coming to your studio tomorrow to discuss this matter.
Let's
Oh,
do
please.
that.
So for people that
Let's
do
do
not
that.
know, Pastor Eliashib Imeje is like a huge Labour Party person. So it would be nice to actually
Not
get...
only that, let's go back a little bit in 10 seconds.
His family.
He's also a broadcaster.
Yeah.
he's a bit to the bar.
Fantastic broadcaster. Yes.
So definitely, I think that it would be nice to have him in the studio. Let's get their own like an inner caucus perspective to this also. But like you said, one major thing is that even if you want to perpetuate yourself, whether the best thing is to do it the right way, or else there's no point.
Because my fear again is that if they carry on like this, they might force Peter Obi to leave. Not because he wants to leave, but because...
However, he said he wasn't going anywhere.
That man won't go anywhere.
No, he said it at APGA and he said it at PDP. I don't want to hear that.
I think going is very difficult for him now, because...
That's the reason why he's not going to go.
No,
he keeps moving when he says it.
I don't want to say that he won't leave. Nobody stays anywhere when he knows that they're going to bring him down.
Oh.
He's the one that brought the verb into this party.
To the party. So
Let's
now,
be honest.
Nobody's arguing that. Nobody's arguing against that.
Labour Party popular. Yes, Abure and his co-travelers just make it difficult to make way.
Co-travelers.
Exactly.
I like that.
You know, because
Gulliver's Travels.
It's the same one that ESCO members are complaining about.
Yeah.
It's the same one that the people who created the party are complaining about. Then there's something wrong. And my fear is that it's going to rob Nigeria of this opportunity of having a vibrant opposition. Leading up to the next elections.
Because what else would be left
anything
at
can
this
happen.
point? Any which way, we will definitely talk more about this.
There's a comment from Pastor Imagine before we move away.
Oh, okay, not Imagines now. Peter Mann says.
Peter Mann.
Yes, Peter Mann says Peter Obi leaves the Labour Party and that's the end of his political career. That's what the APC wants.
Angle.
I also think that
Angle.
even though it might be looking like which other supposed big party has the platform that will give him
So
a PDP would. I don't think a PDP would make him the presidential candidate.
Guess what? I like what Peter Mann has said now. So guess what? If Peter Obi stays back so that his career does not go down the drain,
party might actually rob him of.
He now needs to take an open stand. Look at the picture. Forget whether you like Apapa or you dislike Abure or whatever.
Eliashib Imejem says that is not true. So I'm guessing he's talking about Peter Obi.
He's responding to Peter Mann.
I think it's going to be very difficult, especially starting.
Let's invite him tomorrow.
Yeah,
please,
especially starting from scratch again. It's going to be a little bit difficult, but I think I agree that as much as Labour Party needs Peter Obi also needs Labour Party at this point. It said that we are prepared to.
That's good.
But Peter Obi is just too gentle. Maybe he should go back to APGA.
Yeah, he said they're prepared to leave. That's what they're saying. But Peter Obi, and that's what I'm saying. that
When you say somebody is
you know,
juicy.
it's almost as if Peter Obi does not realize that he's the leader of that party.
Yeah.
He should realize it and say, look, Abure, what you're doing is wrong. Apapa, what you're doing is wrong. This is the way forward. He needs that political acumen
My
now.
worry is this.
He needs to bring
Abure
it. He needs to bring
and
it.
Apapa, okay?
Yeah.
Are they playing a football match?
Man, we don't even know.
We don't even know. But
Is
anyway,
there something personal
we
going
will
on
see.
somewhere?
We don't
Maybe
know.
it's possible.
Because
we will see where
I
this.
don't see
No,
why.
funny enough, this
Regardless
is
of
not
what they
even
are playing,
Apapa now.
it's
This
not
is
about
about
Apapa.
Abure
It's
and the
Abure
NLC now.
And Obi needs to
no.
assert himself as the
Himself.
leader of the party.
It's a triangular. They are all involved.
He needs to assert himself.
Yes.
Where, I'm
There
not saying he
has
doesn't have to assert himself. How is he going to assert himself when other parties are also doing other people are also doing their own thing?
Okay.
They need to come together. They are not yet to get
He's
that.
not
to form
asserting
an
himself.
Opposition.
Tokunbo, the bottom line is
That
that he's
is
not
what I'm
asserting
saying.
Let's
himself.
even know where.
Look at what Atiku is doing with PDP. Atiku stood his grounds and stuck to his guns. Do you understand?
Who won't stay? Who won't stay?
Oh,
with
there are forces that are trying to get him out. A lot of forces. So Obi needs to do the same thing and take over that
Take
party
over, yeah.
and kick out anybody that's going to stop him from achieving his dreams. That's the way I see it. I'm very passionate about it because you cannot rob Nigerians of this option. We need options.
So he's now also said, Eliashib Mejem says he wants to settle everybody, but these guys are set in their ways.
You cannot
So
settle
we
everybody.
will
That's
see
not how
where all
politics
that
works.
Quickly before we go, there's this I really wanted to talk about was when the governor of Lagos State, Sanwo-Olu, has honored a particular Dare Samuel Akinrodoye, and this person popularly called Coach Dre. This man swam the length of the third mainland bridge, and basically it was not just about the swimming. He used this to raise awareness and campaign against suicide and depression, especially when we know in Lagos State they had almost done third mainland bridge and Lagos Lagoon to do you understand? So I think it's a fantastic thing. I saw the governor, he was invited by the governor. They had said they were going to take up a lot of the things that his foundation is doing, and I think it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Anyway, finally,
Peterman.
before we go, Peterman has a few. He has something to say. He says, by the way, Paul Uwanibe is blackmailing the government on TV up and down. Mumu, they're almost done with some feeling of landmark.
We see the campaign too.
We see the campaigns.
We see
I think
it.
we were talking about this yesterday. That there was a little bit of sensationalism
everywhere
on this matter. The truth is that it's going.
Yeah.
Oku, look for a way that you can get compensated and move on.
616 has a message.
Okay, BT616 asked the lady, when is she jumping into lagoon to swim? You know? Sir.
She's not a swimmer.
Sir, nah, I don't do water.
Tokunbo is the swimmer.
Besides,
Tokunbo.
do you live in Lagos? I think that Dre did amazing. Because see, it's one thing,
why are they doing this
it's
to
one thing to swim or in swimming pool. Have you seen Lagos Lagoon?
Tokunbo is the swimmer. That's why they called him Tokunbo. He came from the Okun.
From the Okun, yeah,
He's the
to
swimmer. He
he's
will
the
jump
swimmer.
you,
He
don't
will
worry.
do it.
Ọlọ́run
Ọlọ́run,
wá.
if you want to help me
Hey,
sing,
it's
but
okay.
like I said, nah, I don't do swimming. Nah. Don't worry, I can help him. See, I will help
She'll
you
carry
carry
camera.
camera. I'll be driving on top and help you hold the camera.
I will not
shot.
swim unless Governor of Lagos is standing by me. That's when I will know that I'm safe to swim.
That one you are.
It's a risk. It's a risky venture.
Anyway,
I must be compensated.
I can't talk, Pastor.
You better don't
It's still there.
Still talking
anything
about
Tokunbo
Lagos.
today.
Still talking about Lagos. The Okun-Ajah residents are protesting over the plans to demolish a lot of property for this Lagos Calabar Road, like Peterman had said. So yes, it's not just only landmark. The residents of that, there are a lot of people. So some of them are arguing that yes, they're on the right of way, but that they also a lot more buildings that are going to go now. Now the issue is that it's not about just right of way anymore. This is a completely different plan now. So I think that at this point, if your house or business has been marked for demolition, the only issue is that if you have your proper documentation, you most likely would
be compensated.
get compensated
I
for
hope
it.
the compensation is proper though. because I've heard some funny stories, but they are unverified. So
You've not heard from
I'm
government.
not talking.
No,
We've
we've
not
not
heard
heard
from
from
government.
government. So that's it. But anyway,
Before you leave what you're saying, we're talking about how Bobrisky was supposed to be in court and he couldn't make it to court.
oh yeah,
And he's there because he was spending the naira. And now someone has now posted a video of the new Lagos State Ambassador Pelumi Nubi, the lady that drove from Lagos to London
to Lagos.
Amazing lady. And there's a video of her spraying. So I didn't see that currency very well. And trust me, I said this off air, I'm going to say it on air. If we're going to prosecute people for spraying, which is against the law, EFCC needs to build like a new stadium.
Yeah,
Of
because
prisons.
most
You know,
people
because
are
a lot of people abuse the naira.
actually a lot of people.
Do you know that there was a guy that was giving woman his a phone number and writing on the naira?
On the naira, I think that
Haven't you ever picked a naira note before and found somebody's telephone number
Exactly.
written
You just
and a
imagine.
name?
a lot of those things
You know,
happen.
so
The truth is that it needs to
we
stop.
Nobody.
Need to stop doing it. But I'm also saying now that how much of a case does the EFCC have if there are several
There are a lot of people,
and there's
there are
evidence
videos.
that Tokunbo was spraying money one time like that? They will look for it. They will see it though.
But the truth
Because
of the
this
matter is
Tokunbo
that
is
you
always
people
spraying.
are not saying they have a case or they don't have a case.
I'm always
Bobrisky should
Shola-
have at least,
Shola,
if
you
he had a
can't.
chance of leaving jail, he should have left today. Now, court has not even announced the next date that they are going to resume. He's going to be in jail for.
You said it earlier now, the extension of the holidays.
Sorry,
And I said
At
it was
this
going to
point,
affect so many.
a lot of.
We
At
talked
this
about
point,
it, so-
let's come and be going. Thank you for the
Take care.
comments. Thank you very much for people watching. We'll be back again tomorrow, hopefully with Eliashib Images in the studio. It's going to be fun. So you definitely do not want to miss tomorrow's episode. Have a beautiful, beautiful day
Take care.
ahead.
Bye.
And happy holidays.
Barkari Salah.